Here we go. What's up? Good evening. You're listening to another episode of Taking the Over. I am your host, Gunn, joined as always by the lovely T at T Man Among Boys. And you know what that T stands for? That T stands for tout.
Are we
Right?
touting? Is he tout mode?
Oh, you're a tout, bro. That's what T stands for. That's what I heard. I heard that T stands for tout because your bets are so fire. Dude, I got some of that mailbox money coming from DraftKings. I did the move where you take your winnings out and just leave a little bit in to your normal stake in and just actually profit from gambling. You know what that's like.
I don't. I've never seen it before.
You've never seen somebody pull money.
I think I've cashed out once in my life.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
on my
disappointing.
booking.
That's sad.
Most of the time, I just keep it in there because I know there's gonna be a boring rainy Saturday where I'm just like, I'm gonna bet every single prop bet I can think of.
You take a few hundred, whatever. You take a few hundred or whatever out. You leave like your normal. Like I like to leave 100 in at all times at least, or whatever your number is. Add zeros, take zeros away. Do it in increments of 50, whatever it is. But every once in a while, like I haven't lost a bet in like 7 days. I haven't had a losing day in like 7 days.
Who's the tout now?
Oh, I'm fucking touting, bro. I'm full tout.
All right. Yeah.
Can't you tout like I do?
I tried. Hashtag not touting. It's like a tout without actually touting. Just want you to know
I need to give a shout out to DraftKings before we go any further.
Please do.
I don't have DraftKings copy this week. I did not receive a DraftKings copy this week, but if you go to DraftKings and you're a new DraftKings customer, you really should like. DraftKings is my favorite. No lie. Not hand on the Boy Scouts oath. DraftKings is my favorite. I prefer DraftKings over any other app that I have access to. I have access to all of them. And it was easy to withdraw my winnings from DraftKings this week. Now, they'll mail you a check. They'll overnight that sumbitch if you don't have a PayPal.
Hand of the Bible, hand of God.
Is that an actual Bible?
No, it's Drew Brees' book. Close
enough. Oh, my goodness. I don't know which one.
I have a Drew Brees shrine actually in my office. Good. I think it's a whole shelf dedicated to Drew Brees.
I should have saved the like vinyl brochure we got in the mail of him endorsing the casino that failed.
Watching TV, he is everywhere. If there's a product, Drew Brees is slapping his mole on that.
Drew Brees is not afraid of money, dude. You know what I mean? Like, everything. and I have to say, at some point, there's a point of diminishing returns. Anyway, look, for Drew Brees, I'm writing this down. DraftKings, use promo code BOOT. New customers, you're going to get, last count, $150. Either way, do it. It's the best. DraftKings is the best. We love DraftKings. Okay, the Drew Brees thing. Drew Brees is so aggressive with accepting endorsements and like just pitching anything that he can that I believe that there's got to be like a diminishment of return for him at some point. And I don't think he's even found that, or like he's just so into making money. He's just trying to like, you don't fault him like setting up your family for life and generation and generation and generation. Drew Brees watches Yellowstone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like there's not a single industry he's not dabbling in.
Oh no.
If I had a kid and this was their first exposure to television, at this point they would think that Drew Brees is like Mr. Television, like he's everywhere.
Isn't he? Doesn't he do erectile dysfunction too?
Probably he does.
I think he does.
He did the Advocare, whatever the MLM was for a while.
Oh yeah.
He does.
He's not afraid of a pyramid scheme.
All the betting stuff now he's on. It does some sort of, I think he does jeans or untuck it. I think he does.
That's fine.
Jimmy John's, walk-ons.
My only thing is the casino that he did like a really shitty, poorly pitched, poorly conceived casino that would have like wrecked the direct neighborhood that I grew up in. So I took personal offense to that, and it seemed like a dumb idea anyway, and I'm privy to how much they paid him, and it just doesn't seem like it's worth tarnishing his name with like something like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It seems like you would want to be somewhat selective in it, but I guess just money's money to him. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we had the whole diamond issue at one point a few years ago, where
He had a lawsuit over
jeweler
diamonds.
or was getting
Had a lawsuit over
sued.
diamonds. Well, it's weird now. You got
to
to figure. You want to talk about Drew Brees and like he does a good job on NBC. How about Tom Brady resetting the market for retired quarterbacks on the announcing circuit?
That's an instant mute for me. He brings nothing to the table from a personality standpoint to me. He's not entertaining. He's not interesting. I don't think he's all that intelligent.
You had two different news sources that Rupert Murdoch owns both of them. And the newspaper that he owns reported that the TV network would not say how much they were paying him, the terms of the contract. And then the newspaper that's owned by the same organization came out and said, oh, it's 10 years, 300 and something million. It's like 37 million a year, 27 million a year.
Wasn't the whole purpose in him retiring or his reasoning that he wants to be a better husband and father and spend more time with his family? And then he signs a 10-year deal where he's going to, I mean, it's not as much travel, but still,
he's going straight into it. He's not even taking he's not even going and taking a break year where he's going to go backpack around Europe with his kids.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's the thing. Like he, to me, just has very slimy undertones for a lot of reasons. Aside, I don't like him as a player. I don't like him as a person. I don't like his attitude. I don't like how he carries himself. I don't think he's that good. I never thought he was that good.
We're talking about Brady, by the way. This is Brady talk.
Not Drew Brees. I would never tarnish Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Although Drew Brees tried to buy old Jazzland, I think, right? He was in the purchasing group to reduce.
Bro, everybody tries to buy Jazzland, and you know what's fucked up is it's probably the people that own Jazzland. It's like an agent putting out those rumors. Oh, there's lots of interest in my client. Everybody wants to sign Eli Apple. We're getting all kinds of offers try and stoke a market. Nobody's trying to buy Jazzland, dude.
Brady rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't want to forget this. When he submitted a PPP loan during COVID's peak, or when COVID first started, he submitted a PPP loan, and I think around the same time he bought a personal yacht. I know it was for TB12, the loan, the SBA loan, but
yeah, people did ugly things with those PPP loans. Man. Yeah, you don't even want to. Oh my God, you open that up and you're gonna lose respect for a lot of people. It sucks.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's my thing. Brady can do no right in my eyes. He could build a hospital for kids. Something's slimy about it, undertones. I'm telling you, there's some ulterior motive there with him.
You reset the market.
Brady.
You reset the market for broadcasting quarterbacks that retired.
He did. Rumbo's going to want to raise.
Everybody's going to be wanting to come back with their hat in their hand now. Trying to get that TB12 money.
Do you think he's a good analyst, though? There's a difference.
He's unproven. That's the thing. You don't know what he is. Okay, I'll say this about it. Like, I've never really liked Tom Brady. We don't like Tom Brady. I don't like Tom Brady. I can imagine you don't fucking like Tom Brady. There's something. I watched him on that show, and I'm going to encourage you because they're going to have one at the end of this month. It's that show. It comes on TNT, and it's like an exhibition golf match. And ones in the past would have like a pro golfer, and like it was like Tiger Woods and fucking Tom Brady against like Mickelson and Peyton Manning. Charles Barkley was in one. And now they're doing one. It's going to be like I think it's Brady and Manning or Brady and Rodgers against Mahomes and Allen in golf. And you could bet on it. I've had a lot of success betting on. There was one. It was like the books didn't know the rules properly. It was like Mickelson and Barkley were together.
Was it the first match, whatever it was called?
Yeah, the match. That's what it's called. Right. The match. It's the match, and there's sequel. There's like several of them now. Except they're having one again at the end of this month. The one with the bookmakers thought that Barkley and Mickelson were going to get torched, but they didn't take into account like you could use either player's drive. It was alternating best ball, but both players get to drive. So they'll go, okay. Yeah, occasionally Barkley would hit a decent drive and Mickelson would but it was fantastic. It was and they won. I bet on Barkley and them, and they won. It was plus 200 odds, and they won. And it was elementary. They won by like 5 holes.
Wasn't there
So
one
I
with
saw Brady
Rory
perform.
too?
Hmm?
Wasn't there one with
Rory?
like Rory and Peyton Manning? I think we're doing one. I think that would
Yeah.
have been. Well, I forget which one that was.
I've never seen the one with Rory, but I saw Tom Brady on one of those. I watched Tom Brady play golf for 3 hours on one of those shows against like Steph Curry or somebody. And I gained a respect for him in a weird way.
No,
I don't know. I mean, I think he has it in him to be charismatic, but there's no proof. There's no evidence of him ever doing football fucking broadcasting. He's instantly going to be the number one guy on the number one. He's the first team. Their parent, so they're going to be the premium. They're going to be the Aikman buck that we've been accustomed to.
Do we know who his partner is?
Yeah, it's not Buck because Buck and Aikman both went to Monday Night Football. It's whoever the next guy in line is. I think it was the guy that was doing it with Greg Olson has moved up, but Greg Olson how good or bad Tom Brady is, or how good or bad Greg Olson is at this for the next year, it's not going to matter.
No. Did you watch the 30 for 30 with him and Charles Woodson on Tuck Rule?
No.
It was pretty good. It's about an hour. It was like an abbreviated 30 for 30. And he's just weird. Like, he is a weird dude. The way he talks, his mannerisms, he gives me the heebie-jeebies listening to him talk.
He was with one famous, beautiful, rich, powerful woman, and it's like, no, that one over there makes more money than me. Like, that dude is calculated, it feels like. And all of these like every Tom Brady show, I mean, the one that you saw, if it's a 30 for 30, I haven't seen that one. He won't participate in some shit unless he has editorial control. They've had all these Tom Brady shows on the ESPN Pluses and shit, but he has had editorial control over those. I don't know. It's gonna be, dude. It's just weird. I mean, but he's gonna bring eyeballs. Like, there's guys that live around you that Tom Brady is God, right?
Oh yeah. Growing up, you really had Giants and Jets fans primarily, because Connecticut you get splits. You get Yankees, Red Sox, you get Giant, Jet. You didn't have a ton of Patriots fans, or I didn't notice them, or they didn't make themselves known until that Rams Super Bowl when Bledsoe went down and Brady won his first. That's when all of a sudden the Patriots were like the team in this area, and everyone's a Patriots fan. So that always rubbed me the wrong way, that they didn't have to deal with the Aaron Brookses, the Jeff Blakes, the Billy Joes squared like we did. They got right into Brady, into their fandom, and that pissed me off.
Well, there's a generation of Saints fans like that. They only knew Breeze.
Yeah.
Now Brady's weird because he's won 7 titles or some shit. But
him to me is not impressive as a player, though. Yes, you could say he's the winningest quarterback. I don't think he's the best quarterback skill set wise. I don't think he's even top 5. If you look at his Super Bowl teams, 90% of them had a defense in the top 10. Mm-hmm. Drew Brees never had that in the playoffs.
No. I think Brees is a better quarterback than Brady. I don't think.
I'm not saying that as a homer either.
That's not even a question, right? Nobody wants to hear us talking about Tom Brady anymore. You know why they came here? We're doing a special show at a special time because you got to watch hockey tonight.
That's right. I got the Rangers playoff game on tonight. It's win or go home. Game 5, down 3-1. At home, Madison Square Garden against Pittsburgh, who we always play in the playoffs, and it's always just a drag out. It's a fight. So they always play the Capitals, and they always play the Penguins in the playoffs. I don't know why. It's how it works. The NHL playoffs are set up so that you're kind of forced to play within your division in the first round or two in the playoffs, which I don't love. The way they shifted it to this wild card setup, it's not just top 8 teams anymore. It's top 3 from each division in each conference, and then 2 wild cards, which can float to the 2 remaining best records between the 2 divisions. So you get a lot of inter-division matchups in the first round, which is not great. But Rangers are a winner go home tonight. -135 moneyline favorites. Stu Feiner of Barstool Sports fame has called this his game of the year, picking the Rangers money line. Do with that information what you will, but if you trust Stu Feiner, he likes the Rangers to win outright tonight.
I find that it's funny. You've got me hooked into hockey betting.
It's fun
these last few days, and I mean, I love hockey. Like I've played NHL '93, like EA Sports NHL '93, made hockey for me. I was 14 years old when that game came out. We're like, fuck yes, we're playing this game, and made an appreciation of hockey. I was a Red Wings fan.
Good team.
Hockey had a summer where it was killing baseball, and then they went on strike. Like it was, but I love hockey. I just haven't followed hockey for the last several years, so I'm watching with complete naivete. I have a fundamental understanding of hockey and pro hockey and how it all works and the rules and everything else, and a little bit of strategy. Played a lot of seasons of NHL. But I don't know anything about anybody on any roster right now. There's very few names I recognize. Like I'll see like Ovechkin and I'll go, yeah, he's like, for all I know, he's like 37 and like a third liner.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Maybe he's still a star. Like I don't know.
In your mind,
I don't know.
Who is like the face of the NHL or the best player in the NHL? If you had to say,
I cannot tell you. I do not know who the best.
In your opinion, I want to gauge where you are.
Ovechkin.
He's still a good player. He's not a third liner.
Is Crosby playing still?
He's on the Penguins still, and he's a pain in the ass every year.
But he's not very good, right?
He's the best player in the series this year.
Who's the player that his ex-wife accused him of gambling a whole lot?
That is that Evander Kane?
Is he still playing?
I don't know. I think he's on a roster. I don't know if he's actively playing.
He's had a lot of issues. Yeah, I read an article. I read an athletic article about somebody like that. Yeah, I don't know, dude. And that's the thing. I have no idea about hockey, but you know what I started doing? I was like, I'm going to watch a bunch of hockey, and you start watching hockey. You get a little stoned. You watch a little hockey, dude. So much fun. Playoff hockey is so intense, and it never disappoints. It's like South Park. You know it's good. You know you should watch it every week as it airs, and you never fucking do.
Oh, yeah. Well, playoff hockey is a whole different animal than regular season hockey. Regular season hockey is good, but it's a lot of games, just like basketball. It's in the 82 games. But NHL playoffs are without even there's not even anything close in terms of quality of play for the playoffs. It's intense. You can watch every shift and you can stay focused in it and entertained because there's so much hitting. The crowds are so into it. There's enough scoring chances where it's entertaining. There isn't any dead spots in it. It's just constant go for 60 minutes. So it's if you're not
intense, it's like playoff basketball. It's like it's a different gear. It's playoff hockey. It's a different gear. So what I noticed, and I think you had told me, and I listened to another podcast somewhere, they were talking about a little bit of hockey. They had some of the Barstool hockey guys on or something. And they were saying that more penalties get called in the playoffs, or we're seeing more penalties in this playoffs.
Correct. Yeah.
And I went, okay. And that equates to power plays, and power plays typically equate to scoring. And I just looked at the previous day's hockey game, and this was sometime early last week. And I was like, man, because I mean, there's that you took an in game where the Rangers were way down.
They were down 4-1 in the first.
They came back, but they didn't. They ended up not winning, but 9 fucking goals were scored.
Yeah, 2 empty netters at the end.
Netters at the end. That's how I pushed last night, and I was like, really? They're pulling the goalie down 4-1. I mean, I'll take it.
And they pull it early when they're down that big.
Yeah, I'll take it. But damn, you're just. I don't know hockey. I don't know. Maybe who am I to judge? I'll take it though. I'll take the free goal that got us to 6. It went from 4-1 to 5-1. Okay. So I started looking at all these games, and all these games are high scoring. 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's been crazy. And then so I just started taking hockey. You took an under, you pitched an under, which you pitched another under today, by the way, which I'm just not. Maybe
I have reasons for all of this.
Whatever. But dude, I know. And look, I'm betting like an idiot. I'm just like a over. But guess what? It's hitting because of the penalties, because of the power plays, because of the empty netters, because of the intensity. And it goes 4 for 4 2 nights ago. It goes 3 out of 4 with 1 push last night. on Sunday, they all hit or all but one hit. And so if I see a hockey line that the total is at 6 goals total, guaranteed over right now because I'm at least going to push at 6. 6.5, I'll take it. Juiced up odds, I'll take it. I don't care. How stupid am I? I mean, obviously, we know we're not like unsophisticated gamblers here, T. We understand how this shit works. Obviously, under's coming back, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. So you're right on a lot of it, and there's a few intricacies in it. Goaltending this year seems to be just spottier than usual. Not as many like elite goaltenders as you've had, which results in some higher scoring. I think the NHL is trying to make it more entertaining as well for a younger audience, like every other sport. And you have this influx of young talent, like the Austin Matthews in Toronto and Connor McDavid in Edmonton, where you have these young, skilled players who can do some pretty crazy moves, have speed, are just a different breed of player. And you got the young kid, Zegras in Anaheim. I don't know if you've ever seen him play, but he does something called the Michigan quite often. You know what the Michigan is?
No idea. What's the Michigan?
It's when you're behind the net and you kind of hook the puck on your stick like a lacrosse stick and wrap it around high.
Oh, go high from around the net, from behind the net?
You carry the puck on your stick and balance it, and because you're twisting it with such torque, you can wrap it around above the goalie's shoulder. It's like no one can do it except for this kid.
Well, you couldn't do that in NHL 93 or NHLPA 94.
You could do it in NHL 22. If
you can?
Yeah, they added it. So there's like this young influx of talent, which is really fast, high scoring. So I think the NHL is trying to embrace that. Generally in the playoffs, they never call penalties. You could kill someone and not get penalized because they want to let the guys play, let it get physical. I think they're trying to protect and keep some offense going, which is helping the overs. You also generally in the NHL get a lot of parity in the playoffs where 8 seeds will beat 1 seeds and things like that. It's not like other sports where it's rare. With this new setup, you get teams that are familiar with each other and some lopsided matchups like Colorado, Nashville was a sweep. Colorado was scoring 6 and 7 goals a night on their own, hitting overs. As we move to later rounds, it's going to get tighter. It's going to be more 2-2, 2-1, 3-2 games. So the unders are going to start to hit a bit, which is why I like the Washington game tonight under 6.5. That's a tight series. I think they try to keep it. You get towards the end of series and you get in later rounds and players generally start playing less aggressively and a little bit more not to lose because the first mistake is usually going to kill you. That's how tight these games are. So it results in just generally lower scoring as you move later into the playoffs in each round and in the rounds themselves.
Yeah, I'm still taking those overs.
Yeah, I mean, for now, I think you're safe to hit a few.
I think you got to play them all. It's like if you start following NBA first bet guy and that guy goes, you didn't play all my bets though. You got to play all 9 bets that I tout. See,
that's right.
It's one of these golden rules of touting is, hey guys, you gotta do all the bets.
It's true. You pick one, you lose. You're thinking that guy's a shitty better. Yeah. You got to play all 9.
I play all of them. That's something I learned early on in gambling, man, is like, it sounds crazy and it sounds degenerate. And I'm being 100% serious when I say you need to make more bets. Like, you need to make more bets.
I've flip-flopped on that theory where, like, I can just focus on one game and I'm going to study the shit out of it and I'll get a good feel and I'll bet a lot more on one game. Then it loses. But then if you bet 5 games, you're like, if I go 3-2, I'll only win a little bit of money. But at least you're winning. Or you go 0-5 and lose it all.
When you bet, okay, let's break it down to when you bet on one game. Do you bet like both sides of one game, or you bet like, I expect Jared Goff is going to throw 3 touchdowns, and I think Aaron Rodgers is going to score 3 touchdowns, or like, do you just put them all on one side? Like, see, because I like. Don't bet all the way into the narrative on one, or I don't know, bet it both. There's all kinds of strategies. You bet both ways on one game, like as far as props go.
Yeah, props I like to stagger with the team I like, which is dangerous. But it's hard for me to say, in your example, say the Lions are playing the Packers, and I bet the Lions to cover 10 or whatever. It's hard for me to then bet on Aaron Rodgers to throw 4 touchdowns because that storyline becomes very narrow to fit. That's you're threading the needle trying to get one team to cover while other teams loading up on props.
Right.
So I like to play one side generally and not stagger.
That's smart. It's a good tip. I'm tempted to go. I'm gonna go put more money into DraftKings now that I've got nice check coming from them. I'm going to go to make a deposit, and I'm going to definitely fade your hockey under. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm just betting like a bowl and a fancy cabinet full of China.
Yeah, I mean, embrace the chaos. It's fun. It's entertaining. Just watch it. Pick a team, small unit. Just enjoy it until you get a feel for it. There is one trend that I would avoid, and that's taking big. So in hockey, you get overs, you get the totals, you get over under, and you get money line, and you get puck line, which is the same as a run line or a spread.
Okay, thank you for that.
It's usually like -1.5 generally,
Right.
because they account for an empty netter to cover 2. Because generally, if you're up by 1 in the third period, the other team's going to pull their goal and either win by 2 or go to overtime. So they do the 1.5. Any favorites who are -1.5 on the puck line, but odds themselves are over plus 200 or so, cover at the ROI on that in NHL playoffs historically is -20%. So it's rarely going to happen in the playoffs where someone who's favored by over a goal is going to cover if those odds are juiced past plus 200.
Interesting. I don't know. It's been fascinating to watch. I mean, that's what we've got right now. You got hockey, you got NBA playoffs, you got baseball.
I've shifted focus into the NHL now that the Pels are out. I'll check the scores and bet on them, but I'm not actively watching.
Right.
But it's I'm also using this time to kind of take a detox from sports, where like if it's a game that's not the Rangers or the Mets, I probably won't watch too much of it because I don't want to oversaturate myself with sports. I kind of want to go back to the no sports feeling so that when football comes back or baseball picks up, I'm totally invested and rejuvenated.
Even with the USFL, huh?
I watched the USFL, watched the Breakers this weekend.
You don't have to lie.
Sometimes it's tough. The product goes in and out with me. I thought it was so good at first that I watched it recently. I'm like, this isn't as good as I thought it was. And then it's good again. I can't get a feel for it.
You want to hear my USFL betting system now?
Yeah, please.
Take the under in every game that New Orleans is not in. And then New Orleans, I've taken them on the under a couple times and gotten burnt. New Orleans is probably going to win the USFL.
Well, Kyle Slaughter has a game where he's the USFL Player of the Week or whatever, those 3 touchdowns, and he goes into those 4 or 5 last week.
Yeah.
It's the USFL, I guess. I don't know.
New Orleans may be the best team in the USFL. I'm not trying to fanboy out, but like for the fucking USFL. And I really, really, really feel like unders are hitting ridiculously in the USFL. And USFL unders too.
Yeah, it's some of the teams are just bad.
They are.
It's like the Maulers, 0-4 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we already said this is an anti-Maulers podcast, but yeah, they can't do anything.
Some teams just can't score. You play, and then like a New Orleans comes to town or stays in Birmingham,
leaves the hotel room,
uses the specified shared locker room. Like that means at least 4 teams are like using the same locker room the same day, unless they built multiple locker rooms in that stadium. I don't know.
It's like an Olympic Village for the USFL.
Not that. Oh, it'd be so funny if it was. That's got to be nasty.
Oh yeah.
New Orleans comes out the hotel and they bring their defense with them, and it's just. Yeah, there's some bad teams. Unders are endorsed on the USFL. Any team but New Orleans. Any game involving any team but New Orleans.
They have a very hard time in the red zone. The teams move the ball pretty well throughout the midfield, but they get to the 30-yard line and just shut down.
I'll click in on it for a second. They'll be like, "Oh, somebody's driving." Not worried. Click back to basketball or hockey.
Yeah, they'll get to like their last game I was watching. The team's marching down the field with ease. And then it's 3rd and 30 on the other team's 25 or other team's 30 somehow. Like, how does this even happen?
I get a distinct no sweat feeling when watching USFL games briefly and betting the under. But it's kind of like it's a no sweat confidence. Like Yeah, they're in the red zone. I'm not worried. Oh, what you gonna do? Miss a field goal?
Yeah. It's becoming tough to get rooting interest in it when you know no one's going to score any points.
I think it's an opportunity. I mean, I think it's a gambling opportunity. I'm having so much fun. I mean, I'm on a hot streak, dude. I've been having really good last couple weeks, and it's been the most unsophisticated gambling of my life. It really is. Unders on USFL, overs on hockey. I'm not betting on basketball right now. Like I'm betting like series outcomes. I've still got my really dumb bet on the 76ers to win it all. And I've got a really dumb bet on the Bucks to win by 2 games. I think that might be dead.
It's 2-2, I believe, or
yeah,
2-2. Yeah,
or maybe it's Boston. I can't even remember. I tailed Slop on it. I saw Slop was like, bet this team to win by 1.5 games in this series, and I was like, okay.
He took the Bucks or the Celtics.
He might have taken the Celtics.
I would say it's a homer pick from him.
Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what it is.
But
I did it. It's 1.5. Yeah. Then it's Celtics. There's no way he would have picked the Bucks. And that's the same. I've had dumb luck. You're taking a sports watching embargo. I'm taking like a sports. I'm keeping it real simple, and it is working out well. Yeah, this one's really dumb. Celtics minus 1.5 games, and I think they're down, or it's tied. It's not likely they're going to win. Nobody's winning that series by 2 games, doesn't they? And it's certainly not the Celtics.
Yeah, it's going 7. I don't know. Rangers better win tonight. I don't know. That's all I got to say. Either this time next week, you'll either see me clean shaven or with a really big beard. So it's pray for
you got your hockey. You got your playoff beard. So you're going to shave the playoff beard when the Rangers are out.
Yep. If they lose tonight, I'll shave it tonight. Do it every time.
They lose tonight. They're playing for their lives. If they win, they force a game 7.
Yeah. No, they force game 6. They have to win 3 games in a row.
Oh, shit. Oh, boy. Your beard's doomed.
Well, historical context. Last time they played the Penguins in the playoffs, they were down 3-1 and came back and won it in 7. They've done it multiple times within recent memory. So they're not completely out of it. They just got to figure it out.
I know you want to go watch your game. So I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, DraftKings. Thank you, Boot Crew. Use code BOOT. T, is there anything that we didn't get to you want to make sure we get to?
No. If you listened, thanks for tuning into Taking the Over Express. The Bet
I was going to tell boner clinic stories to fill time if we needed to. I'm glad we didn't. We just talked about Tom Brady and Drew Brees instead.
They've probably been to a boner clinic or 2 in their day. They're getting up there.
Oh, dude! But did
Drew Brees probably sponsors 5 of them.
Drew Brees is involved with some bullshit boner pills. Yeah. That's it. That's all we got. Thank y'all for tuning in every week. Don't forget to go find us on our Podbean. Subscribe to Boot Crew YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at Taking the Over at T-Man Among Boys. T, good night. Say good night to all the beautiful people listening.
Good night to all the beautiful people listening. Let's go Rangers.
And we'll see y'all next week. Hugs, loves, kisses, goodbye.